trees are not overhanging the Pico lines, but they're overhanging the other lines, and they're going to come down in the next big storm anyway. So might as well start getting them out there now.
All right. Take a look at it.
Every day, and Joan Schmidt, Silverbrook Drive, every day Ashland comes back to our street, and I think they trim 3 branches, and they, from 2 to 3, they're there almost every day. And I don't know what they're doing. And he's going out and talked to them and doesn't get any answers.
They know what they're doing.
No, they don't.
Linda.
Linda Johnson, Simmons Road. I wasn't gonna bring this up, well, I wanna bring one thing up, I wanna say what a fine job the road crew did during our snowstorm the other
Yes,
week.
they did. Yes.
But, this kind of, and this is no reflection on the road crew, it triggered my memory when Warren said about coordination. What happened, because I was on the Monco active website, because all of a sudden cars start coming down Simmons Road. And apparently there was one stuck on like Gravel Pike and I think Salford Station. And there was also cars stuck on by Peace and
Are
Zion.
you talking about the snowstorm?
Yes.
Yes, 73 was shut down because
73
they're all
and
stuck.
29 was shut down. So there was no coordination. They're taking 2 major arteries. Now on a good day, clear day, 2 people don't pass well on Simmons Road. And then by that time there was gridlock. There were people right and left in the gullies and everything. Even if the township could try to get there to salt the road, they couldn't because it was just gridlock. And so there was no coordination. So finally, well, we had 2 good Samaritans that stopped, my brother and myself, because they seemed, it's right on the hill and on the curve by the pond, and I had my board and we're pushing people out. But then the one guy, it took the fire company to come. They had to come with a winch the guy out. He was almost rolled. And again, it's by the lack of coordination, it created a more dangerous situation than actually even existed. So I know, let's hope that we never have that case again. But I was hoping if the fire police deem it necessary to direct traffic from both Gravel Pike and Route 73.
The fire company did not direct them.
Oh, well, so whomever was.
GPS
let me-
directed them, there was nobody out there.
Let me tell you how it all went down. 29 was shut down, 73 was shut down, the cars were stuck down in the hollow there and on the hill. I got a phone call from a girl, could I come rescue her on 73 on the hill?
Mhm.
I said, I'll be there, I'll come up and get you out. And so I headed up, I got in a circle, I couldn't go no further, everything was shut down. The police went up the side, up the wrong way. They got down the hill, there was all kinds of cars all over that hill. The state truck was on top of the hill past the church, sitting up there in traffic, couldn't move. I took my pickup, put the plow down, went around all the cars, went up the wrong lane, I did my single axle behind us. He sold it, I went down, I zigzagged between all the cars and the cop cars. He followed me salting it, we turned around the top of the hill, come back down, zigzag, got those cars out. We plowed the hills both sides before any of the cars. Then 73 opened up. I left there and I come up to Simmons Road and I turned to go down Simmons Road, and that's where I had to turn around the bridge because it was all jammed up.
You couldn't, yeah, it was great.
Now, the cars were turning around on 73, going back to the circle and going up Little Road themselves.
Well, it
Okay.
wasn't so much Little Road, and I don't know when the fire police got there, but the people that we were pushing out said that they were directed down this road by the fire police.
They weren't.
So, well then there must have just been some guy with a vest and a blinky light out there telling them where, I mean.
Well, you didn't see them, so that's all hearsay, okay?
Yeah.
But
I'm just thinking, if this, heaven forbid, if a situation like that would happen again, and there are fire police involved, perhaps rather than, directing this, maybe we could utilize, have the traffic from 73 come down Faust Road, a much straighter road to Little, and then the people from 29 down, so in other words, some type of
Nobody
coordination.
directed them. The people just decided, well, I'm just gonna go out this road and go down this road and around it.
Yeah.
Cause it was backed up both ways.
Yep.
I think
was
people sat
terribly
for so long, they were just taking
Just
different
don't go out in the
avenues.
snow.
Stay-
Well,
stay in your house when it's
I don't know, I guess the people that we pushed out
in the
and the Monco website was lying because it actually said fire police on this, on North Gravel Pike, fire police on.
Terry,
Will the proposed 2019 budget be posted onto the budget tab of the website?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
There's a few,
What was Terry's question? I didn't hear what he said.
Will the budget be posted on the website when it's done?
Thank you.
Okay?
Terry.
I'm sorry, yes.
Sherry Schweiker, Schwank Road. So we've done well in this meeting, and Carol's held up things, and we've talked into a cell phone. Should we consider getting some better audio-visual in this room for these meetings?
Or have it in the bigger room.
well, actually, you can hear better in this room.
Yeah.
The sound is better in here, even though it's tight. I think we can,
But I
Certainly
mean,
better on here.
a conference phone where we could put it on speaker,
Uh,
or a place,
I see what
an
you're
easel to
saying.
put
Yes.
the drawings on, or I mean,
We are
This is
working on that.
2000, we could put a
Yes.
large TV and project things up there if we wanted
just
to,
spent
okay?
all this money on a projector
well,
that
it was
has,
a very inexpensive projector.
but it's not, it hasn't even been utilized. Isn't it a good thing that we
Driving
didn't
around,
spend?
yeah, driving it tonight,
Well,
so
we
I can
did,
just
but
look
it's
at
a
it.
lot better that
we
we
are
didn't
setting
spend
that. We're working on it.
12,000
I mean, I feel bad, yeah.
that was
Yes.
suggested.
And Marla was in a
You
situation,
know,
next time
because
you might
it's
be in
not
that
really being
situation.
utilized.
But we are
I think
setting
planning
up stuff.
commission
We're
can
working on that with the expenses and Warren.
Well, while we're on that topic, whatever became of the, you know, my issue that I always bring up of trying to make the sound better in that room. At one point, we were going to investigate trying to make the sound better. Kevin told me that he got an estimate that he thought was too expensive. Does that mean that it's been dropped?
I think since we've gotten the speakers, you're the only one that's been complaining.
Yeah. It's
Better.
It's
The
much
speakers
better.
help a little bit. The microphones help when the supervisor's talking to them. But we have a, you know, I can do the play-by-play on that. I sit there and watch. Kevin's situation is much better. He's one of the hardest people to hear, but when he talks into the microphone, now we can hear him. Marla tends to look at the other supervisors when she talks, so she's not talking into the microphone.
I remind her about that.
Often, there's conversations going on
Have like one of those little-
where the supervisors are looking at each other and they're not talking into the microphone, and then it's just like it was before.
Let me put it this way. It wasn't dropped, okay? They got the speakers for now. I think it was the expense. And Rome wasn't built in a day. So to keep the cost down for the township, okay, and not have to add taxes to people and say, well, we want to buy this $20,000, you know, set up, and we'll move slowly with it, okay? We're still looking at it. We want to better the system.
Now, another potential low-cost improvement would be to try to absorb some of the sound, as I know in some places where they have high ceilings, is just hang flags.
Tom and I
Could we-
talked about that.
So
Well,
that's a
anything
very.
you can do is going to make me happy. And yeah, you
So-
might not have heard complaints by other people, but the other people just don't complain like I do constantly every single meeting. I mean,
Was
come
it
on.
better for you, Joan?
You really want to listen to what's going on, Warren?
So, I mean, so we can try the flag, that's a really low-cost solution, just buying a flag and then hanging it.
Well, do it
Panels
then.
were just.
Why don't you just tell Warren he can't come?
So Warren, I want to clarify, so my proposal for this room wasn't a high-tech kind of thing, but, you know, can we just get a phone in the table with a speaker? Could we get an easel that costs $30 to put the, I mean,
I would have to pay to get a
Bring
phone
these
line
ones
installed.
from the
There's
other
no
room.
phone line in here.
I mean,
You're
this
right.
is stuff we can
yeah. I
move
mean,
forward on.
we don't
okay?
have to go
You know,
to,
the point that I'd like to make here, one of you just brought up the reason that we meet here is because you can hear better.
Well, the
I mean,
reason
that's
we-
not me saying that.
Well, one of the.
And it's an inconvenience having to meet in here when everybody doesn't fit in here.
But one of the reasons we meet here is
Also,
this is
fire
a
hazard.
work session, and when we sit around the table, it's more conducive for us to work.
Well, you can sit around the table in the other room. I mean, the planning
Planning commission
commission
does.
circles the tables.
I move we adjourn.
Can you do that?
That was a good question.
I second.
Public comment. I like it.
Hey, I was being a nice guy and not bringing it up.
No.
It came up.
But it
so-
wasn't dropped, okay? We'll better the system, yeah. There was,
I would say.
That's a
okay.
Are we ready to adjourn?
Is everybody, Bob, one more.
You got 2
Bob
minutes,
Burns,
Bob.
Zieglerville Road. Where do we stand on the budget meeting last night, since you guys took the executive session and then came back in and adjourned? Is there gonna be an extension to that? Are you guys meeting again to discuss the balance of it before it gets put
There's
up?
gonna be a meeting again, yes, quick, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. Need a chance.
Is this a motion to adjourn?
Sorry, just because you're meeting again, the budget wasn't finalized. I was not in attendance, but I watched a clip of the tape, and there was one figure that stood out to me. It was dealing with sewer revenue. It was $541,000 in sewer revenue, and Mr. Tobias had indicated that that represented the 41 connections at Ragusa. He said it several times. If you divide 41 into that figure, that it comes out to like $13,195.12. If you divide $541,000 by the $7,405 connection figure, that's 73 connections.
So do you want him to explain it?
Well, I just, if I don't understand how, if you're saying that that only represents Ragusa, how you came up with that connection figure?
41 times 7,045.26.
41 times that, it's like $303,000 and some change.
Yeah,
So,
'cause Terry,
I'm
last
just
night
saying
you
that,
asked
I mean,
that
if
was
you're
just for Ragusa.
If you're basing it on that number, then you will have a shortfall, because, you know, you will have to readjust your sewer budget. Like I said, I haven't seen any of the numbers or anything, I just saw that number, and you take 541,000 and divide it by $7,405, the tap-in fee.
I'll look at that number again.
I
Yeah,
think that was
so-
an amount we actually received from them, but we can get back
No,
to you.
and then,
This,
but, it was,
that's why we said we're gonna have another meeting.
yeah, well, I just wanted to, in case
Oh,
I'm not
yeah,
able to
yeah.
attend it, I just
Fine.
wanted to bring it to the board's attention that that seemed to be an inaccurate number. And if you're basing your balanced budget on that for the sewer revenue, you're gonna fall $250,000 short, based on that amount of connections.
But before we adjourn, no one mentioned it, so I'll mention it before it's too late. We did have an executive session prior to this meeting to discuss a potential legal issue. Now can we-
Motion to adjourn,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye. Chuck?